You can drink your White Claw. I'm going to drink my Pinot Noir from Oregon.
Fancy pants.
2020 from Oregon.
Nice.
Kylie, this could be interesting. It's like playing roulette. Spin the wheel. Let's go. What do we got? What question do we got?
All right. So we're wanting to know how you guys first met. What's the story? What's the situation?
Oh my God. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Vincenzo and a girl named Amy, and they lived nowhere near each other. All right, so I was in Connecticut at the time. I was working for myself. I made friends with this guy named Brian online because he was a Steelers fan, so we kind of had we were tweeting in similar space about the Steelers, and I don't know exactly how it happened, but I ended up hosting his podcast, which is around like millennials starting their businesses. It was called Millennial CEOs. It was like millennial entrepreneurs and whatnot. So I hosted his show. That was hosted on, this is how long ago it was, the Google Hangout. So it was a Google Hangout show with an associated Twitter chat. And I was the host. And then Brian said to me one day, he was like, yo, do you have a guest for whatever next week? And I said, nah, I'm working on this, that, and the other thing. And he goes, I got a perfect person for you. I said, all right, who? He's like, he goes, I just saw this girl speak. Her name is Amy. Couldn't say your last name. So Amy's last name is Schmittauer. And he would say, it's Amy. I don't know. It's Amy. Her name's Amy. I saw her speak. And I was like, all right, you're really selling this one. He goes, yeah, she's hot. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm in. So I believe he gave me your information. Mm-hmm. I DM'd you, asked you to be on the show. This is where it gets interesting. She had zero interest in being on my show. Zero. She's like, send me some of what your show's about, like whatever.
Probably, yeah.
So here she is, Little Miss YouTuber was like, who's this dork who's going to try and like get me on his show? I was just listening to my friend Brian. I had no idea who she was. I didn't care who she was.
Okay, let's be clear. The reason why I asked for some information, because at the time I was literally taking any podcast interview. His podcast interview was at like 9:00 at night on live video. So I was
right, that too.
I was like, wait, what?
I didn't know Amy's time. It's like I didn't know that she goes to bed at freaking 8:00 and whatever. So she's like, all right, I'll do it. She gets on the show. First of all, sweatshirt, hair pulled back, did not give a flying about my show at all. She ends up crushing it though. It was a positive show, obviously, right?
Obviously.
And she actually hit me up afterwards and goes, "That was really good. Like, I'm impressed." And I was like, "What the? Who? You're impressed by me? Like, I don't need you to be." I was like offended. I'm like, "What do you mean you're impressed?" As if you didn't expect it. Anyway, she's like, "I was impressed by your show. I think it was really cool. I would love to be on again sometime." I think she was just being nice. Kind of left it at that. But then she kept messaging me and said, "I'm going to be in New York for..."
No, I had promoted it on the show. I told you in advance.
Oh, right.
That was why I was promoting it.
She had promoted it on the show that she was going to be in New York for Savvy Sexy Social Live. Savvy Sexy Social was the name of her YouTube channel at the time, and she did this thing, Savvy Sexy Social Live, which was kind of like a road show where she would have...
It was a workshop.
Workshop, right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm doing all the talking, but
I'll
keep going.
Keep going.
So she does the workshop. She said, "I would love to have you come." And I said, "That's cool, but I've got a friend visiting me from Cleveland." So here I am like, "Oh, she's from Ohio." Like, she's from Amy's from Columbus.
And I was like, "I don't care about Cleveland."
And she's like, and I said, "Oh, well, my friend's from Cleveland. You guys know each other?" Something stupid. And Amy didn't even respond. She's like, "Well, you could bring her too." And I was like,
You
okay.
can pay for 2 tickets, no problem.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, here's the ticket price," and I was like, "Yeah, all right." So we ended up going to New York. Yeah, I did. Go to New York. I'm the only guy in this Irish pub where she hosted it because they had like a nice event, like for a small event space. Only guy there. I took like one picture with her, with Amy, because I was like, oh, look, me and Amy, the lady who's doing the thing. I ended up doing work from the back. Like half the time I wasn't even engaged in this thing. I wasn't even paying attention. I was like, I had to work.
He was like social media managing.
I was
behind the
doing social media
scenes.
management for a large hospitality chain at the time. And Amy was like, why'd you come if you had to work? And I was like, well, I wanted to be nice. I wanted to meet this and that. And that was it. Like literally that was it. She went off on her merry way at the end of the day. She took the train. I think you took the train, or no, you drove back to Jess's or something like that.
I had parked in the city. I was staying with Jess. I parked in the city because I had to go right home after this workshop. I had to drive to Ohio right after the workshop.
Right.
You walked me with your friend
Yes.
to the parking garage that I was going to. We ended up having another conversation. I don't even remember what it was about. We just
I have
kept
no
talking
clue.
for like 30 minutes. And I was like,
None.
I feel like you need to go and take your friend here, wherever you're going. But it was funny. It was just like,
No.
yeah.
I
I was
was
like,
just there.
what a nice guy. He walked me to the parking garage with his
With
friend.
another girl. But I will be honest with you, I had zero interest at that point. There was nothing there. It was like, cool, she's some YouTube lady I knew nothing about.
Also, I had no interest, just to be clear.
Zero. It was mutual, very mutual.
It was like, yeah, that was
So we
it.
don't ever really talk about New York being the first place we met because it was it was so forgettable.
It wasn't forgettable. It just wasn't the beginning of it all.
It was forgettable. It was forgettable.
Okay.
Let's be real.
You just remembered every detail of it, but okay.
I'm different. No one will tell that part of the story except for me. So what was it? Like a couple months later,
Yeah.
we're friends on Facebook at this point. I DM her. And I was like, now at this time I found out I'm a big Steelers fan, Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Oh, you know what? It was like a month later.
A month
Because I
later.
turned 30.
Right. So it was a month later. I hit her up and I was like, hey, I'm a Steelers fan. I was telling you this, right? I said, hey, do you know Justine? Justine, we're talking about here.
Because I'm friends with Justine Ezerick on Facebook.
They've like spoken, whatever. I said, oh, do you know Justine? And she this is the response I get. Never gonna happen. It wasn't even like sure, I'll like.
P.S. That's not all you said. You said something to the effect of, does she have a boyfriend? You did ask that.
I don't think so.
You did. I will find the receipts if I have to.
Whatever. I get it's never gonna happen.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, this chick is. We went back and forth a little bit. I asked her about her 30th birthday, yada, yada, yada. That was it. Hard stop. I was
like, I'm done replying to this guy. Thanks for asking me about my birthday and trying to get the hookup with Justine, but bye.
right. So, I mean, I like I said, I wasn't trying to get with her. I didn't care. Like I wasn't interested.
You're so full of it.
So was it another month later?
It was less than a month later.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah.
June 30th.
Yeah.
A month later. Let's say a month.
Okay.
We're both in San Diego out of randomly. I'm working at this event that she's speaking at, and I was tasked to capture video and to interview the speakers after they came off stage to make social cuts to put online. For however it worked out, I got Amy, who was right before lunch, and they were like, can you take Amy and do the interview thing with her? I was like, oh yeah, we've met each other before. I was like, cool, I'll do it. So I did it.
Hold on.
She missed half the lunch.
Hold on. How was my speech?
Don't even remember.
You don't remember a thing about my speech?
I just remember you going up on stage with your red A-line dress, and that's it.
And that wasn't like the beginning of you having feelings for me or anything?
No, I'm not. I was just like,
You're full of it.
Do you want me to tell people what I really said?
Probably.
Oh no.
I mean, like, you're already showing your colors here, so.
I text my buddy. I sent a picture of her from the stage, from my seat. I text my buddy who lived in San Diego at the time, who I was visiting after the event was over, and I was like, I'm gonna bang that girl. That's all I said. I was like, I'm gonna bang that girl. And
you're such a dude.
so then I took her We had to go do this interview thing.
Yes, which by the way, he was in charge of doing, I think it was live interviews. I don't remember, but whatever interview. He was like, okay, I'm going to interview. I was like, great. He's like, what kind of questions do you want me to ask? And I was like,
I had no idea.
Dude, I just spoke on stage and I thought you had prepped questions. Like, are you serious? I need to tell you what to ask me now?
And she fell in love.
Anything else I can do for you?
She fell in love with me right there and there.
That was it.
No, so we did. I don't know. We came up with something. We BS something.
I mean, I came up with great questions for me.
It was lunchtime. I said, "Do you want to grab lunch?" Well, the lunch at the event was like, I think they were out of most of it. So we ended up grabbing lunch down by the pool.
Yeah, the restaurant or something.
Where the girl that I had taken to her event back in New York like months earlier was also there at that event, and she was with some other females, and they were sitting right next to us. That was awkward. Remember that?
No, I don't,
do vividly.
Actually, not at all.
I remember the three at that table that were looking at us. I was like, I look like a right now. Or whatever.
Good times.
And
that was San Diego.
That was San Diego, and that was literally like we ended up hanging out for. I think you were in town for like 3 days, and I was in town for another week and a half. But for those 3 days, we were hanging out with Brian, the kid who introduced us, Kristen Cardos, rest in peace, and someone else as well. So it was like we would hang out for like 3 days. Went out like every night. We were hanging out. We did karaoke. That was our.
Yep.
That was when I learned that she has like an incredible voice at 2:00 in the morning karaoke.
I do.
Oh, our song.
Vin won't let me forget our song.
What's the song? Go.
I'm not singing the song. It's called Picture by Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow.
Picture today.
Okay. Anyway,
Sat down and cried
as soon as
today.
I'm not, can I just paint a picture for you real quick?
I can't
We're at a dive
look
bar in
at
San
you
Diego, and it's
while
Sheryl
lying.
Crow's turn, and I start singing. I'm not kidding. There was the most adorable, probably homeless old man at the bar who
With
had
his
a
flip
phone, turns around and starts holding it up at me. And I was like,
It was pretty awesome.
I'm not that good. Like, what is happening? The bar must be low at this bar. It was really funny.
I mean, it was some like dive bar in the gas. It was
Anyway.
like off the gas lamp. Anyway, yeah.
So we had fun. It was good. And then I went home.
We hung out for like,
But we stayed in touch from that point.
that was it.
Yeah.
We never stopped chatting since that day.
That was it.
And then she would come visit me like all the time in Connecticut.
Yeah. I did.
All the time. I never came
Yeah,
to Ohio.
I do the work, you know. I show
I never
up.
came to Ohio.
That's right.
And then the one
You
time
did
I
to-
did,
you did-
the one time I did, we did karaoke at a dive bar in Grandview.
my
Mickey's on
gosh.
5th over there.
Oh my gosh, I miss Mickey's. Oh,
Yeah.
That was good times. That was when he decided to profess his love for me
While you were drunk,
while I was blacked out.
passed out.
I have no idea if he actually said it or not, but he.
I had to
claims
leave.
have said
I had a flight. This is when I was stupid and I booked flights at like 3 a.m. so that, or like whatever, super early to save money. And I had to leave, and she's just passed out. And I was like, "You all right?" And Lucy was passed out sleeping too. I was like, "All right, I gotta go."
But you texted me later because you were sad that you left so early.
I was.
And I was also sad because you were sad, and I was also really hungover, like desperately bad. The best part about this is taking Vin to a dive bar in the Midwest. We go up to the bar. We're there early.
Oh my God, this is awesome.
And he goes, I'll take like 2 Jack and Cokes.
Amy was drinking Jack and Cokes.
Okay.
I was drinking. I don't know why I was drinking beer. I had a beer at the time, probably because I thought it was gonna be super expensive. So I was like, I only have so. It was a cash bar, so I only had so much
Yeah,
cash with me.
yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna drink beer. Not sure how much. The guy was like,
That'll be $7.
No, it was like $6.
That'll be
for a
$6.
Jack and Coke,
Vin was
double
like-
Jack and Coke. and a
No. We
beer.
also got a Jack and Coke, and he's like, "Yes, sir."
$6, and I was like,
My husband, I swear to God, that night he was like, "Woo!" He's like, "I am a high roller at this place."
and I'm not. Listen, I'm not cheap by any stretch.
Which
but
leads to me being blackout drunk by the end of the night.
listen, I'm not cheap by any stretch, but I was like, $6.
I've never seen him so thrilled than that moment at that bar. Well, up until that point, because oh my gosh, he
That's
could
not true.
not
There's another time I was
believe-
more thrilled.
Before that
Before
point?
that.
Okay, well, obviously.
Get those
Oh,
things.
all right. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so that was fun. He professed his love to me at that point.
It was funny.
The next time he came to Columbus, he proposed.
Oh my God, was it? No, it was not the second time.
I don't know how many times.
All
he
right,
came.
don't
It's
lie
not
to
like
the audience.
It's not like it's 12.
No, but man, that was so funny. Oh my God.
What?
I had just gotten off of a road trip down through Charleston, down to Tampa, and then back to Charlotte. Remember that? Were you? No, you weren't. But you knew Yarby at the time. And I flew from Charlotte to here to Columbus. That time, on the flight, I got stuck in a storm and had to land in like Cleveland. And at the time, they didn't have this. I don't know if they still do. I think I was flying American at the time.
Probably.
And sorry, Delta. They didn't have a route from Cleveland to Columbus. So they were like, well, if you want to get to Columbus, you can wait for this flight to see if they take off. And remind you, we landed it already. It was midnight. The flight, they circled Columbus Airport, and then they ended up dipping out and going to Cleveland because it was so bad.
Funny thing, we were just talking about storms.
Right.
Apparently that was a bad storm day.
It was terrible. So we landed in Cleveland, and I'm just like, all right, well, like, what the hell? I think I was only here for a couple days, 3 days or something.
Yeah. Because they were ready to put you on a
it was
flight
right
the next
around
day
this
or something.
time that year.
Yeah.
It was St. Patty's Day when I came.
Yeah, it's spring.
And they were like, well, if you want to get to Columbus, you gotta drive unless the flight gets, leaves.
Right.
I was like, well, how do I know if this flight's going to leave? Well, we're not sure. If we cancel it, there's no flight. You won't have a flight tomorrow. You'll have to rebook something else. I was like, that's stupid. Luckily, they did fly in. But had that flight not come in, it's very possible I never would have come to Columbus. I may have ended up like...
But like forever or just that time?
All that time,
Okay.
which was happened to be the time I professed my love to you. while you
No,
were
I don't
blackout.
think it was.
I'm 99%.
That was the time you just told me. It was March St. Patrick's Day. That would have been when we went out with my parents for St. Patrick's Day. I don't think those two things happened.
Yes, it was. It was the same week.
It was?
Yes.
Oh. Wow, you really just like take care of all of it. Your few times that you came to Columbus.
Yeah, just knock it out.
Which, by the way, when he came to Columbus and proposed to me, it's not like I knew something big was happening. We were doing a mastermind together, and the two of us were hosting a mastermind with other entrepreneurs. We were hosting it here.
Mm-hmm.
We had people coming in from Hawaii, from Australia. So
Yep.
there was all this going on. I was none the wiser. We were already doing a big event, so. I didn't think, and also I've been in train wreck relationships up to this point. So for somebody to be proposing after 1 year of dating long distance was an anomaly to me. So
I would hope so.
I mean, it was.
mean,
Well, that's why I'm saying I didn't expect it.
Yeah, I still don't believe it. I still think you're lying to me. I think someone told you.
No,
I'm telling you.
Absolutely
She always
no one
laughs
told
every time I say it. Every time I say it.
I laugh because you think I knew.
I think you knew.
No one told me. I
Bull.
can promise you that. A woman can have intuition on a certain level, but I didn't know. Nobody told
That
me.
was
Nobody
God, that
told
night
me.
was terrible.
Well,
I took her to dinner to Milestone.
yes.
Which I didn't know if it was any good or not. I'd never been here, so I didn't even know this, like where we're at now.
It's a
even
lovely
existed.
restaurant here.
It's
in
fine. Yeah, I
downtown
just didn't know.
Columbus.
So we go
Milestone
there.
229, shout out.
It was the only things on the menu were like heavier. It was more of a steak type. There's a lot of steak on the menu. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to eat steak. I barely ate. That's not me. I always finish my meal. My stomach was in knots. I didn't want to eat. Whatever. Get the check. I'm like, okay, got to get down. My plan was get down by the river on the river walk because I had her best friend planted with a camera.
You said the bridge, I thought was
The bridge.
plan.
The bridge was the plan. Yes,
Okay.
but I was like, how to get you on the river walk to walk
Sure.
there.
Okay.
And the minute we leave the restaurant, mind you, it's like we had an exhausting day of masterminding.
Masterminding takes a lot out of you.
So I'm thinking to myself, okay, just get down by the river, just get to the bridge, whatever. I'm gonna do this. I'm holding this thing, like I don't have a purse. I'm not, like I I had a sport coat, and I had the thing sitting in my sport coat, and I'm like, she's gonna feel it, she's gonna know it's there. I'm like, so I'm trying to like make sure she's on this side of me and all this, whatever. I want to go home. I'm like, what?
I mean,
It's
dinner
cold.
was over.
It was cold.
I
it was
switched to
November.
flats.
It was
Okay.
it was November. She brings flats, and I was like,
I switched to flats
Switched to
after
flats.
dinner. Like, let's go home.
my feet hurt.
There was a football game on or something. Let's go.
It was not. There's no football game on.
There was
It-
something that
It was November. It was a
Yeah, it was.
Saturday in November. It was like it might have been Ohio State. You're right.
Pretty sure there was a football game on.
And she's like, my feet hurt. My feet. And I kept hearing, my feet hurt. My feet hurt.
It was cold also.
And I thought she
That was
knew
what
it
I
was
was
coming.
saying.
So I started like freaking out. Like, oh my God, maybe she knows it's coming. She doesn't want it to happen. Oh my God. I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be a freaking train wreck.
Men.
So I end up, we're walking on the river walk, and I'm like, I don't know, I think I stopped you like 7 times, like tell you these random things.
No,
'Cause
it wasn't random at all.
I was like-
you stopped me and you kept saying, I love you so much. And I was like, I love you too.
I still remember
And then
this
he
too.
would just take my
So-
arm and keep walking. He did that like 4 times.
Because it wasn't the right spot. Shut up. Shut up, Blake. But we were trying to get to a spot, and I needed her friend to see us because she needed to come down from the bridge to come take
He was trying to like SOS my best friend Sarah, who was waiting to take a picture of our proposal on the bridge, but we were never getting to the bridge because Honey wanted to go home. So
By
he
the way,
was
didn't
like
think
trying
that
to
through. It's
stop
pitch
me
black.
to like get the memo to her that we're not coming up there. You need to come down here, I guess.
I ended up just popping the question, just doing it, screw it.
Yeah.
And then Sarah starts walking by, and you were like, I was like, oh,
No,
look.
you said, oh, who's that? And I'm like, you just proposed to me. Like, what do I care if there's people around me?
And I was like, no, look. And you're just
was
like,
Sarah.
yeah, I don't care. And I was like, no, really, look.
And then we took a fake picture.
We took a fake picture. The picture everyone saw.
You know how everybody
is-
gets the fake
it's
engagement picture because their first one is like terrible?
It was super. I mean,
That's what
ours,
we did.
ours was still pretty bad. It was black and white.
I
had it black and
love
white. It was so
ours.
bad.
My God.
It was grainy. You could barely see it.
Okay, but by the way, guys, whenever
Hire a
you,
professional photographer.
or when you task your friends to take photos of your surprise engagement, tell them to use the camera they already know how to use. You had given them a fancy video
My
production
G7
camera,
No, I did not.
but it's still not the same as an
It was
iPhone.
a point and shoot.
Anyway,
Whatever.
don't give somebody a tool they don't know how to use.
Whatever. I don't even care. Fine.
Okay, was that the point of the podcast?
Yeah, what exactly was the question? How we met, right? Okay, so
So interestingly, though, I will throw this in. Before Vin proposed, we started Aftermark together. I don't know why. We basically just were like, let's work together. We were also like dating, but we didn't know if like
then I
dating was
realized
going
the
to work
company
out.
was in her name, so I needed to marry her to make sure.
Well, and he's like, go start the company. I was like, okay. And I like signed up for a company in Columbus. Like, and I'm like, whatever. So it's like, it's in Ohio. It's in my name. And it always has been. So there you go.
Moved me from Connecticut.
He proposed and I was like, you should probably move to Columbus. And that's why he's been here
Yeah.
for 5 years.
Oh, it's been that long. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Crazy.
Anyway, any regrets?
It was fun. None.
That's good. Me too.
0.
0.
None.
Mm-hmm.
None. But I will say, not but. I meant in addition to. Sorry. Additionally, I didn't mean but. Additionally, it was the craziest thing because of our situations where we had just come out of relationships and whatnot. We were both right at 30 years old, and it was like, I know what I want. She knows what she wants, which in another episode I talk about how the same thing that allows me to work together is also kind of a pain in the ass because she knows what she wants. But that was also a benefit to being in a relationship with someone in a long distance where we saw each other mostly on the road at events.
Yeah.
We were in, different cities. Like we were rarely in our own cities unless she came to visit me or the very few times I came here. So it was the fact that we both had those experiences, those L's that we were able to like really understand, okay, I know what I'm looking for. I didn't need to date her for 7 years to be like, I'm going to get married. Like I knew I wanted to get married, and she's awesome. And so it was kind of a no brainer.
Same.
And I didn't feel like doing the long distance crap anymore. That was annoying.
Yeah. We better stay in Columbus then.
Right.
Long distance marriage.
I mean, it could work. Never know. Don't laugh back there.
You'll be back.
You'll be back. Time will tell.
Okay. You fit a song into every
I
single
will find
podcast.
a song for everything. All right, go leave us 5 stars for this one.
Leave us 5 stars because of our wonderful beginning to our relationship, which is bringing you this podcast. Rate our relationship on a scale of 1 to 5.
A scale of 1 to 5 stars. Actually, don't do that. Rate the podcast. On 1 to 5.
Rate the podcast, please. That would be good.
Smash the like button. Love you all.
See you on the next one.